Ooh, welcome back to the Arch Plays.
I'm still stuck with this double raspberry hibiscus.
So, your videos are pretty good. I really like them.
I like them too.
I even like your old videos. What is it like for you to watch your old videos?
Yikes. Let's say yikes. Like old unscripted videos, so not the canon reviews, not the talking about why Frankie isn't racist. It's just one big yikes. I generally agree with what I'm saying, but I don't like how I'm saying it.
That was when you did a bunch of videos in the Digi podcast style, where he just rants into a camera or a microphone for like an hour and then chops that down to 30 minutes.
Basically, only worse because I didn't know how to talk for the longest time. Like, I kept repeating the same fucking things over and over and over again. Like, how my videos used to be roughly around 6 to 10 minutes long, and then suddenly they dropped down to 3. That's because I learned how to speak. Like, I have brought shame onto my family by doing this. But,
that's fantastic.
Yeah, so it's yikes listening to... Let's see, I'm trying to remember about when... I'll only consider rewatching my videos that are unscripted only as far back as... did Degrassi say mental illness is more important than physical illness?
Okay.
That's only as far as... Like, I'm still doing the repeating things over and over, but that's where I actually add editing to it, and so I'm okay with it.
Okay. Do you think it was a bad thing that I recommended you try that style?
Just talking to...
Just talk and then edit it down.
I think so, because it took away the barrier to entry of, oh, well, shit, now I've got to script this, and, because it's scripted, I'm going to want someone to verify that it's a good idea. Mm-hmm. It got me past that and just, took away that as a barrier and got me into learning how to audio edit, figure out my style of editing for my own voice, my pacing, and then also later got me into figuring out how to use Vegas for visuals. So I think that was pretty helpful, even though the quality of the stuff I was putting out wasn't that great.
And it also helps a lot that you were not coming into this as a novice exactly, because...
Well, I had your help.
Well, you had my help. You had Mask,
yeah.
And you had there's lots of people here who were able to give you a second set of eyes or fifth set of eyes.
Yeah. Well, it's really only you and Mask, actually.
But all right, I was trying to be charitable to other people that we know, but
well, they could have, but they're not really interested in my work. So and that's okay. But
that's why we've talked to fewer and fewer people over time.
Well. I don't know if people, understand this, but I literally have no friends except for you and Mask. Only, bleep that out. I'm not going to dox my sister, but my sister only counts because she's my sister.
Mm.
But otherwise, I don't have friends.
Yeah, that's kind of why the cast of the Arch went down for a little bit, is that, one of the archers was not actually contributing as much as they used to, and it was really just sticking around out of momentum, so, they were demoted to certified cool person.
Well, not just that, but,
the analytical spirit is gone.
Well, I personally went down just because, you and Mask and my sister were all indisposed for various reasons, and because you were the only 3 people, literally only 3 people I have to go to when I'm feeling like shit, then it's well, I'm just gonna mope around in bed all day.
I can see that.
Yeah. But, I didn't really start out as a novice, especially because, I had you and Mask to look over my scripts to tell me that the voice that I was trying to go for my Frankie Isn't Racist video was fucking stupid. I didn't really get it at the time, and you can still hear that in my voice during the video, just a little bit because it's hard to shake. But now when I hear it in other people's videos, it's just like, you idiot, learn how to speak. And I know it's very elitist of me, but it's also like, as soon as you hear it and you understand, like, you hear the difference between that and normal speaking, then you just get that way a performance is terrible, no one should do it.
Well, there's also a... All right, so the metaphor that I reach for is... I was watching this thing a long time ago about how they train spies for the CIA. And one of the skills that they teach is shooting a gun from a car, from a moving car. And you can teach the person to shoot, and that will be okay, but you can teach them the theory and you can give them the advice. But after the advice has been given, what you really need to do is put a couple hundred rounds through the chamber, and that's the only way that they're gonna actually develop those skills.
Yeah.
And you see that same principle applied in things like learning to play a fighting game. Mm-hmm. You can get the theory and stuff down, but at some point you do have to put a couple hundred rounds through the chamber.
Exactly, and that's what, that's my philosophy with learning how to do anything, really. Like, I want to have the instruction there to reference, but I need to actually perform the task on my own multiple times before I'll actually feel like I've mastered it. If you just tell me, hey, do it like this, I'm not going to get it.
And people who can get it from reading something or from being told are the best.
Yeah.
That is a superpower. Mask can
it
do
is
it.
Enviable.
I can do it with craft stuff, but that's partly because I already have like a framework of skills.
Yeah,
to drop it into.
You have something to fall back on, like for reference.
Yeah, knowing the basics of what you're doing allows you to incorporate the advanced stuff that you pick up very easily. It's one of the things that we always loved about Twilight Sparkle, actually. She sees someone teleport one time, and then from that, on her first try, is able to replicate the spell perfectly.
Yeah.
In the very first episode. And that is such a... It is a rarely depicted aspect of intelligence, and it's a rarely depicted... it's even more rare that it's depicted well or accurate to life in any way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But, yeah, other than some performance and technical stuff that I hate with a lot of my old videos, I actually do enjoy re-listening to them. Like, very recently, while I was working, I've been listening to sort of the latter half of my video portfolio, just because on the one hand, I enjoy my work. I enjoy, like...
You listen to your own music? Well, yeah, motherfucker, that's why I made it.
Yeah, exactly. I put out things that I like, which, that's really cool. I agree with what I say for the most part. Like, I will avoid videos that I no longer agree with, which thankfully aren't that many. And then also, I forget what I say. Like, once I've got the video done, it's done and out of my head. I need, like when I'm listening to it, then I can piece together where I go from there. Mm-hmm. But also, it's like, oh yeah, I do agree with this. Yeah, is what I thought.
There's aspects of it that like slip away, or
it's kind of like with CGP Grey, where he does a video on the topic, and now it's just out of his head because it's all in the video form. There it is.
Okay, that makes sense. Wait, I'm gonna go this way.
It's like It's like with even the Arch Plays, where I might go into great detail about something that I'm super passionate about, but then ask me about it a month later, I won't remember most of what I said.
And most people are like that in most conversations. Mm-hmm. There's a very different feeling to say, being a fan who is watching Digi Bros. Where the fuck is this person? Where are you? Oh, you can only get in from the other door. So, when you're watching it, you're hearing it as content, and so you are going to remember it more. Because, like, you are able to think on it, you're able to chew on it as you're consuming somebody else saying
foreign.
the thing. Yeah. Meanwhile, when you're speaking it's like, I think we talked about this a little bit with like Game Grumps.
Maybe?
Did we? Not talking about it with the Game Grumps, but
like,
no. When we were discussing Game Grumps, at some point we or like your memory of your own podcast. Yeah, we've done that topic before.
Maybe I couldn't tell you.
Yeah.
Oddly enough. Yeah,
but that is an example of the thing that we're talking about.
Like when it's you speaking, it's just so natural. It makes sense. But then when it's you listening to these new things, then it's like, I never thought of it that way before. Oh, like there's a sense of newness to it that makes it stick longer.
I gotta tell you, I have had the Brady experience of listening back to something that you were on that you don't remember very well.
I do it all the time.
And you have a response, and then the you in the recording says the response. That is so satisfying.
Yes, I love it. It's just like, if I were in this situation again, I'd make this joke. I did it! Yes!
There's a more advanced version of that where, like, you remember when I was on Digi versus everybody?
Yeah.
I have such a developed internal model of what Digi sounds like and the things that he says that I would make an argument and then, like, sort of predict forward what he was going to say, and I was right, and it was so satisfying.
That is pretty cool. I like that. I want you to be able to argue with Digi more, because it seems like you guys are actually working pretty well together.
Yeah, even my conversational content, things like I've got a couple more coming up that are just like in a checklist sort of, but it's the kind of checklist that you leave open for 6 months and don't do anything about it. I've got a couple more videos in the vein of you are a cyborg. Do what you want 'cause a pirate is free. You are a cyborg. That I think he would potentially appreciate, but I don't think it's that most of what I have to say or make are things that he would really grip with.
True. Maybe Mask would be a better conversational partner.
If Mask would be willing to talk into a microphone.
That is true. I was just about to say, but
Yeah. And also, there's also the problem that Digi's
like,
friend pool is full.
Well, not just that, but Digi's like me. If it's not something that we want to do or that sounds interesting, then we won't A, make time for it, or B, like, we just won't do it. Like, like, if you want to try to get him on podcast, you have to keep spamming him until maybe he A, has time, and B, is interested in doing something like that.
Well, you could just pay him, I guess.
Yeah, money will always,
It's the first thing that jumps into my mind is for if I wanted to get him on a podcast, how would I do it?
Yeah, that's true.
I can think of 2 ways. One, challenge him to a podcast in a diss track.
Yeah, that'd be probably one of the better ways to do it.
Yeah. But I am not a musician.
Yeah, no.
I'm not even like I would have to do a whole bunch of like learning and improving in order to become a bad musician.
Well, I mean, like, you can find a beat. The thing is one, being able to write to a beat, and 2, making it sound good.
Yeah. And I think a lot of people get around the having to write to a beat thing by just having a beat and not bothering making what you're saying on match that beat.
Yeah, and that's not that great.
It is less than ideal, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Were we talking about rewatching videos?
Yeah, we were talking about rewatching your own videos.
Yeah.
It is interesting to me that you rewatched that much of your old material.
Yeah, like I won't do it all the time. I can't remember what the cutoff tends to be. I can quickly look at it. But it tends to lean a little more recent, especially depending on what the subject matter is. Because even I am not terribly much into re-listening to some of my darker videos, depending on my mood.
Yeah, those are definitely... They felt at the time like they were there to get something out of your head.
Yeah, and that's often why I talk about it. Like, I have a lot to say about unsavory topics. And very much recently, I've been leaning into being able to do that more often. But I can also recognize that it might not be for everyone. Actually, looking at it, maybe it's really hard to say. Because they're like, I'm going back and it's like, maybe Jesus Christ Superstar is my cutoff. But then I'm looking more and it's like, well, I like more of these other videos too. Man. Maybe, okay, I think I kinda have it. Or, no, that's kinda similar. I was about to say, oh, it's Zoe Rivas ends Justify the Mean Girls, but then it's like, that's only 2 videos away from Did Degrassi say mental physical illnesses? Ah! So I didn't get any... I didn't get any farther in this.
So when I proposed this topic in between episodes, what I was expecting to happen is that you would be like, oh, I can't watch any of my old videos.
Oh, no.
And now that you've been on hiatus for like 2 months, something like that, because we haven't had internet.
It's getting towards 2 months. Like,
Yeah.
I've been on hiatus because well, not so much that because we didn't have internet, but because I was too fucking miserable to do it.
Yeah, well, I would expected that because of that long of a gap that you would now hate all of your videos and would no longer be able to watch any of them.
No, I very much still like my videos. Like, there's one very recently that, like, I'm still proud of my my roommate as a cat video. I enjoyed that. I'm very, very proud of my straight privilege, prejudice in the LGBT plus, and are ace people plans. I'm very proud of that. I wasn't so much at the time, but I do like my Rent the Musical, Virtue Signaling, and The Real Problem with Rent Live videos. I do like those. And I haven't re-listened to it yet, but I'm kind of excited to re-listen to the last video I put out before going on hiatus, Why I'm Never Having Kids. Yeah, so,
Interesting.
yeah, so... And it's weird because I also would have expected me to hate a lot of my stuff because that's how I feel with a lot of my drawings. After a while, like, I'll have a sort of euphoric period about them, but then after a while, I'll just start to despise them and see them only as shit. And I've got that with a few of my poems too, but the same deal there, like, there is still resonance with the person who created that poem and the person who is here now. Like, I still relate to those feelings and experiences that led me to put these words down on paper. And that's the same here. I still relate and understand and even agree with the person who said these things in this recording.
Interesting. I seriously wonder how much of that is because you are, I guess, a better video producer than you are either of those other things. Like, not to say that I don't like your other material, like your poetry. Whenever I do read your poetry, I do like it. But, like, you've had a lot, like, rounds through the chamber again. You've had a lot more practice speaking because, like, having a developed thought and in a way that you can convey to another person is what it is to make a video. And that is basically what hanging out with me and Mask is like. Having to do that all the time.
A bit, yeah. And I think if I got into video making when I initially wanted to, way back in like 2015, 2014, when I started first getting into the Phantom Reviewer and looking into nostalgia critic videos, if I got into video making then, I don't think I would have started off nearly as good as I did. But because I got time to be around you and Mask for an extended period of time before I even began video making, that helped me to be a better script writer and analytical person.
Yeah.
And maybe, like, but that kind of stuff, yeah, actually, as I'm thinking about it, I disagree with the thing I was about to say. Because I was about to say, well, I don't think my ability to speak is why I like my videos. But that probably is. Because if I went back to my videos and, like, heard the things I said and thought, well, why did I say it that way? Why didn't I say this? Then, yeah, I wouldn't want to rewatch them.
You mean that CGP Grey thing of, what is this idiot who uses my voice? Like, why are they not making this very obvious point?
Yes, exactly. Yes. That sort of deal. Gosh, what am I... And really, I should, like, given my whole character, like, I should fit into the mold of what a lot of people feel when they make videos, like, I hate my own work after I release it. But there's a lot of things that I don't like. Like, I feel like my editing is extremely lazy, and while I'm okay with that at the time, as I go through and, like, go back to it, it's like, I really could have tried harder. Like, there's something to be said that my favorite edited video is my Degrassi Next Class is Great, Don't At Me video. Where I basically say, yeah, I'm fucking miserable.
That wasn't a great video. I passed that on to everybody.
Oh, really?
Well, the only person who I wasn't likely to be subscribed to at the time was probably Willow, and then I passed it on to her, and she was like, I hadn't seen it yet, but I am subscribed.
Okay. Yeah, I was gonna say, like, who's everyone? Who could possibly watch my videos? But, yeah, so there's a lot of little things that I don't like, but they're not enough, I guess, probably because I feel like I did an okay job at the time describing my feelings. They're not enough to make me not want to revisit them. And there's something to be said that I do it for fun. Just to, like, something that I have in the background because I enjoy it.
That is, like, do you think any of that would go away if you started doing it where it was your main source of income?
I don't think so. Because I've been it's been basically like a job for, like, over a year where I've been doing 1 to 2 videos every single week. So even if it was money related, like, unless I started making changes that I don't like in order to make money, then I don't think so. Because if it gets tied into, like, making certain decisions because, well, that's just what I have to do, I guess, then it starts taking on a negative connotation in my mind. While right now, a lot of it is, yes, I'm kind of playing the YouTube game by trying to be punchy with my titles and picking the most, like, hot goss topics.
Well,
but there's still a lot of, well, this is still getting my thoughts out there, and I'm passionate about these things.
There is something to be said for, like, choosing your topics being choosing topics that will get popular as an influence on the art. But do you feel like the title and thumbnail is part of the video?
Only if it's funny. Basically, yeah. Otherwise, it's just a cynical marketing scheme. But
okay, because that's one of the things that Anfka Jed had a problem with is that he considered the title and thumbnail to be part of the video, and that's part of why he's not more popular, is because he's not willing to play the cynical game.
Yeah. Like, I guess technically yes. Like, if I really get down to it, the title and thumbnail is a bit part of the video, but
it to me it feels like bait.
yeah, exactly. It's only part of the video insofar as YouTube comments are part of the video.
Yeah.
It's just the nature of the platform you're putting on.
Mm-hmm.
But, in a vacuum, they don't matter.
Well, it's really interesting to me that you said in as far as
Yeah.
comments are part of the video, because I do not consider comments to be anything close to part of the video.
Mm-hmm.
I know a lot of people do. Like, why are you you wouldn't go up to a museum and write a comment underneath the Mona Lisa,
You won't write "get good" underneath the Mona Lisa, would you?
or more likely Picasso.
Yeah. Like, you bringing that up makes me realize that. So, oh God, I had a better way of saying this, but I lost it.
Throw me a bad way of saying it, and we'll try and figure something out.
Yeah. Those, like, title, thumbnail, and comments, they exist as the nature of the platform you put the video on, but otherwise, they're only there, like, just to make, the small folk happy. Like, they're only there to make the small folk happy, unless, you can do something witty and creative with them. Like, Well, something cynically witty and creative was Degrassi, "Next class is great, don't at me." Because it's just like flying in the face of, most of this video is talking about how I'm a depressive little, full of just mental hangups, but most of the comments are going to be about next class.
It feels, yeah, it feels like you in that video you were able to make a Digibro video, where much of your format is doing a Digibrony video from like 2013.
Yeah, and that's what I've been trying to lean into a lot, especially with my more recent videos. Like, for instance, like, whenever, like, towards the end, I go into the segment of relating my point about a character or the work to my real life. Like, for instance, trying to think. Come on. That's one. Oh, like, for instance, talking at length about my roommate is a cat and why it relates to me personally, not just, oh, this is good because, oh, this is bad because, like, I've been leaning a lot more into Digi's philosophy of making videos where the product being sold isn't like the video, like the work or anime you're talking about. It's you and what you can bring to the table. And I'm viewing that in the Digibro way of what I can bring to the table is my personality, my experiences. So let's go ahead and intertwine that with the video, not make it something entirely separate, which is something that I was intending on doing like when I first started, because I had the mindset of kind of like almost like a bad actor mindset where it's like, you're just this character, put everything else you are to the side, where a good actor will use their personal experiences to enrich their role. Or at least that's my perspective of acting as a less than amateur actor.
I didn't get the big piece of heart. God damn it.
Can you go back without having to do the entire mission?
Nope. You have to do the entire mission over again.
Yikes.
I don't want to do that. I'm not gonna.
Do you have anything else to say about this topic?
Rewatching your old videos?
Yeah.
What would you expect my experience of rewatching my old videos to be?
Well, seeing as it didn't occur to you to make your videos not suck, probably not that great. And also considering how hard you can sometimes be on yourself, I imagine you'd fall more into the it's garbage category.
All right. Well, I do have a bunch of videos that I do hate.
Really?
Uh,
Okay.
you you would be massively surprised at the sheer volume of videos that I don't hate.
Yeah, that's interesting, especially because, as I said, you tend to be hard on yourself.
Yeah, there's so the videos that I hate, there's like 5 of them maybe, and I don't
Yeah.
remember what they are off the top of my head.
Huh.
But it's some of my woodworking videos from like, well, okay, some of my woodworking videos that are published as of right now, they're edited too long. It's too slow. I want to play with the format a little bit more to try and find something that's better.
Yeah. Would
Because
be...
my go ahead.
No. Go ahead. You might answer my question.
Well, my original who I'm trying to be was Chandler Dickinson, but for wood instead of for metal. Mm-hmm. And then I was trying to be.
Explain what the draw of Chandler Dickinson or whatever.
Okay, so his thing for a really long time was, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just gonna like try stuff and figure it out. You get to watch me try and troubleshoot, because like the troubleshooting of like, well, here's what I think I did wrong. Let's try and fix it. No, that didn't work. I made it worse. Fuck.
Okay.
That is an intensely valuable part of making stuff that doesn't really get into instructional videos most of the time.
No. So why did you transition away from that?
Well, later on, I started trying to be Paul Sellers. And Paul Sellers he'll do one project that's 3 40-minute videos that could have been a 5-minute video with narration. And that's because in each of those videos, he's smuggling in a bunch of little nuggets of information. Like, here's a cool thing that you can do with your chisel. Isn't that awesome? But as I look back on all the videos that I made in that style, all of those tips that I give just seem like distractions.
Yeah, that was one of my major criticisms of your videos. Just like, this doesn't, it's not adding anything, it's just all like dragging the pace down and just making it kind of boring.
Yeah, it's helpful for people like me who are looking for techniques. Mm-hmm. But, well, helpful for people like who I used to be, because I am no longer looking for techniques. I have techniques. I have so many techniques.
Someone not just new to the craft, but also immensely interested in every little bit of it.
Yes.
Not someone who's looking, how do I do this thing?
Yeah, I'm not trying to learn to do one thing.
Yeah.
And most of the people who are looking at the kinds of videos that I would be making already have some basic tool knowledge, and they have a style and a taste.
Yeah.
So when you're creating something, you're looking for design ideas or workflows or people who have solved problems that you haven't thought of yet.
Yeah.
And, well, those exist in my videos. They are buried under things like tool mastery. Mm-hmm. And it really needs to not be. So,
is it your woodworking videos that you'd say you'd hate then?
Yeah, actually. See, all of my old like knot tying and knife videos were all
pretty straightforward.
They were structured in a way where if you only want to learn how to like see someone clearly demonstrate how to tie a knot, that's the first like 30 seconds of the video. All of the rest of it is discussion on what the knot is for, and how to use it, and different variations that you can apply to it. But if you only want the basics,
you get that
right in the front instead of like buried halfway through the video.
It's like going along with that the rule of thumb where the first 30 seconds of your video shouldn't just be like explaining like the introduction of a how-to. You should just jump right into it.
Yeah, no introductions in a how-to. I actually kept Wadsworth's constant in mind a lot during those knot tying videos.
Yeah.
Do you know Wadsworth constant by name?
I have a vague idea. It's like how only like a certain Wadsworth. explain what it is, because I might be mixing it up now.
The first 1/3 of a video is worthless.
Yes, exact. That's what I was looking for. But then I was getting it mixed up with whatever constant is, like 90% of people in a thing suck.
Yeah, that's a different thing.
No, but yeah, and I've been trying to keep that in mind with my videos too, where I try not to have a lengthy preamble unless it's like a canon review, because I'm often giving useful or hopefully useful background information. But yeah, I haven't rewatched your not tying videos in a long time, but I think that's definitely a good thing to keep in mind. Like, if you get back into possibly woodworking video making, would you want to try to get back to the Wadsworth thing?
That's gonna be a big part of it. The next style that I'm gonna try out is Daygrad. Daygrad will film like 2 hours worth of footage and then edit that down into 3 minutes with his own narration over the top of it.
Oh yeah, you were starting to try to do that. Did you ever release that video you were trying it for?
There's still a pickup shot that I need to get.
Okay.
And in order to get that pickup shot now, I need to find where my flashlight sheath went.
Gotcha.
You know, the reason I made the video.
Yeah. Well, it's been so long that I forgot what the video was about now. Okay.
It was about working with rawhide.
Yeah, I can definitely see you not liking your woodworking videos. Do you still want to make woodworking videos?
Yeah. Right now I'm focusing on just like making stuff for the house. There's a bunch of like, I guess, busy work that I need to get through.
Yeah.
But I think I'm gonna... You know how I'm constantly starting over from scratch in my woodworking videos?
Yeah.
Well, I think I'm gonna make... When I make my next work surface, when I make the Nordic bench, I'm gonna probably do a video about that.
Okay. Yeah, first you gotta make us some shelves, though.
Yeah. And the world of instructionals is very different from written analysis.
Yeah. I can imagine, yeah.
Because I if you watched my making a losing my mind making a box video, that one where I was trying to incorporate some like I was trying to put some Digi voice into that, where it's like as I'm going along with it, I'm getting steadily more frustrated, and eventually I just turn on it in the way that like, oh no, a better example of this would be Endless Jess's review.
Yeah,
of
I was Rocky Horror Picture Show,
where he gets halfway into it and was like, man, fuck this.
Yeah, actually no, I hate this.
Hang on, I changed my mind. Fuck this.
Yeah, I try to. There's one video I won't watch. Like, did JT really try to off himself? While I technically agree with what I say, I tried doing the endless, like that exact thing, and I don't think I did it well, so I won't rewatch it now.
I thought it was pretty alright, but I also haven't watched it since it came out.
Yeah, I don't think it's good enough.
Oh, there's another big point to be made about me rewatching my videos. It wasn't until about a year ago that I started processing color and stuff.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Because you were the one that taught me to do that kind of shit.
I taught you to do it like a month after I did it.
Damn.
Every video up until that point, like the color, there's no color correction. I don't do any of like the white balance leveling for dynamic range. I did process my audio, but I did not do any of that for the video aspect of it. It was just like bad.
Like, did you not learn how to do it until then, or you just didn't want to?
Well, it wasn't an option in my original video editor. It wasn't until I got Vegas that existed, and even then it took a while for me to decide to implement color correction in every part of every video.
I see.
Because I would only really use it for like pickup shots on stuff where I'm trying to make it consistent to the other video. And then I started playing around with the lightness curves editor and found that was really, really amazingly valuable. to like making a video look good using not good materials.
Yeah, because last thing you want is for people to not even care about what you're saying because they can't get over like what they're watching.
Well, that's actually the funny thing about it is I'm fully able to rewatch all the videos where I didn't do the color correction because they're instructionals. It doesn't matter. It doesn't have to be entertaining. You're just trying to get a point across.
I do have to say, like, when I watch an instructional where it looks like they literally just turned the camera on, filmed what they were gonna say, and uploaded it, it's just kind of like, Like, I don't need flashy editing like, you know, the cynical instructionals tend to do, but just more like, just make it look okay.
Well, remember, even before that era, I was still putting in a lot more effort than most instructionals because I would record my audio in one take, which means that I'm doing like no cuts because I don't want to cut. So
I think you're overestimating the amount of work like amateur instructionals do too, because they tend to do it in one take and they don't cut like the ums and like pauses.
No, when I say I want to do it in one take, I mean I'm doing 30 takes because the one that goes into the video, I don't want to edit it. It was
fair.
much easier for me to just record it perfectly the first time. And instead of having to go back and chop out the ums and the uhs, I would rather just compose what I'm going to say in advance, do a rehearsal with the camera live, delete that video, do it again, cut and print.
Okay. I misunderstood. That's fair. That's a shit ton of work, though.
It's much easier with instructionals because it's just me talking about something that I've done hundreds of times.
Yeah, and you've also got something in front of you to keep you on track, whereas with an analytical video, if you don't have something to remind you of where you want to go, you can easily get off topic very quickly. Or get off the topic that you intended, like not necessarily stop talking about the thing itself. Like, I've done that quite a bit. My Sound of Music video, I get a little bit annoyed with because I feel like I didn't stay on all the things that I wanted to say because I didn't script it.
Yeah, and I get a lot more of that feeling when I'm doing a longer instructional, like a Paul Sellers type, where I am recording about 2 to 3 hours worth of footage, but it's over the course of 12 hours of work.
Yeah.
And I'm just assuming that I'm going to get it and not really worrying that much about shot composition because it's an instructional. But I'm glad that I've turned around on that and decided to make my videos entertaining.
Yeah, it's like, maybe I should make my videos good.
Literally, yes. No exaggeration. That is what it is.
Which is still shocking to me.
Oh, wait. Capture West Square. It's probably over here. Alright, so I am so interested in the dramatic differences between me rewatching my stuff and you rewatching your stuff.
Yeah. Well, like, what is there really in rewatching your stuff? Because you do mainly instructionals, whereas I do, like, brain stuff.
Well, the half the reason why I did instructionals is because I'm on subreddits like Not Tying, where people want, like, somebody will say, "Hey, what about this thing? Do you have an idea of how to do this thing?" And I go and I'm like, I made a video on that, and then I rewatch it before I send it to them to make sure that it does the thing.
That makes sense, because you want to make sure you're actually talking about what they're looking for, and that's something that you want to endorse. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, I definitely want to make absolutely sure that what I'm trying to get across is successful and good. Or at least acceptable in its quality.
Yeah, right? Okay, I can get that. Do you have anything else to say? I think I'm pretty good on
Yeah,
it.
I think I'm good on this one. Next time on tap?
Sure.
All right.
I'll make myself some more tea that doesn't suck.